Today's show, and well, many of my shows, is not recommended for sensitive adults. And, well, of course, children.
Around, like flinging her boobs around, throwing breast milk everywhere, and saying, "Ooh, come get some." That's a whole nother topic and ball game.
Well, there's that and many more to come.
Snow falling like overdue bills. Yeah. Lights flicker, wallets shiver, but we still here. December hit hard, like a slap from the rent tree. Looking at dead, but it's all that I spent. Kids want gifts, man, I wish I could bless them, but tariffs got the prices doing full flexing. Stores blast carols while they drain your soul. Every holiday deal got a hidden toll. Santa in the mall looking tired and bitter. Whisper, bro, I'm broke too, don't post it on Twitter. We light up the block, though the pockets stay cold. No money in the bank, but the spirit won't fold. Laugh when we can't keep the pain on low. Christmas still hits even when the funds don't flow. Damn, when the funds don't flow. Damn. We light up the block, though the pockets stay cold. No money in the bank, but the spirit won't fold. Laugh when we can't keep the pain on low. Christmas still hits even when the funds don't flow. When the funds don't flow. Yeah, 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 yeah. Grandma knit a sweater with a hole in the sleeve. Said times are tough, baby, but we still believe. We nod like prophets in a budget cut, trying to stay warm off a sterno cup. Yeah, dinner looking thin, noodles maybe rice. Ham costs more than my car insurance price, but we sit at the table like kings of the night, turning struggle into stories, trying to meet the price. Cousin pulled a flexing in a brand new ride, but the rental sticker still stuck on sides. He said, imports tax, what you want me to do? We dab him up anyway, we all broke too. We light up the block, though the pockets stay cold. No money in the bank, but the spirit won't fold. Laugh when we can't keep the pain on low. Christmas still hits even when the funds don't flow. Though the pockets stay cold. No money in the bank, but the spirit won't fold. Laugh when we can't keep the pain on low. Christmas still hits even when the funds don't flow. Hey, 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 the funds don't flow. Hey, hey. Auntie re-gifted candles from a decade back. Dust on her, we pretend we didn't notice that. We all fake shock like it's something elite, but the scent screams clearance aisle 2013. And online deals, man, they scamming for sport. Holiday sale just means the tariff sort. I hit add to cart, then hit abort. My wallet's still empty like Trump Casino Resort, but the choir outside still sings in the cold. Voices cut through the dark like stories untold. Trees from a thrift shop, lights barely glow, but the vibe untaxed is something they can't control. We light up the block, though the pockets stay cold. No money in the bank, but the spirit won't fold. Laugh when we can't keep the pain on low. Christmas still hits even when the funds don't flow. When the funds don't flow. We light up the block, though the pockets stay cold. No money in the bank, but the spirit won't fold. Laugh when we can't keep the pain on low. Christmas still hits even when the funds don't flow. When the funds don't flow. Cold world, warm hearts. That's the holiday magic. Magic, magic, magic.
Hello, my name is Zurzu Zyklin, and welcome to my channel. How are you guys doing? So you may remember a while back, I did a stream on the Portland Naked Bike Ride. Well, it's a World Naked Bike Ride, but it was the Portland Naked Bike Ride that they went in front of the ice facility. And as you can imagine, that because of the timing of it, it became a very national argument. Now, this thing has happened for at least 20 years, close to 20 years. I think it started in like 2004 in Spain, and it's spread across the world rapidly. It is it's to bring awareness for bicyclists on the road and their vulnerability. It's also to bring up fossil fuels, basically our dependency on fossil fuels and how vulnerable we are to all of the pollutants in those fossil fuels. Now, as I said, we recently had a event at an event where they rode the bike ride across the ice facility, and I was unaware at the time that I went up on panel. Now, I do understand that the guy said it was the gay bike ride, but I was unaware that there was a complete false narrative being passed around, mostly in the Conservative Party, that this bike ride is somehow a pride event. It wasn't until after I did the show, because they stressed so hard that he had mentioned that it was the gay bike ride he was referring to. And I ended up finding this article. Now, this article here is Pride in New Orleans, because many of the attendees decided to ride bicycles in the Pride nude, exposing all sorts of blah, 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 blah. It's miscaptioned. It's not right at all. It's not a Pride event at all. Now, I'm going to drop a link in the chat here. This goes to the Portland event site. And if you go there, you'll notice that not any of the coloring at all has anything to do with Pride. Well, I mean, some of the paint that's on some of the people there, which the reason why I'm not sharing it is because it does show some images, which I probably don't think YouTube would like much. Now, some of the paint and coloring, of course, has, you know, a Pride atmosphere to it, but it's not a Pride event at all. Let's read what it says on their site. Now, to 2025, it's already happened. So when is the next bike ride? Where does it start? And it's going to mention that it already happens. They don't mention the year before when it happens, but it's always around the same time, kind of chilly outside. Yeah, they do actually ride naked. So it says, dress code. Well, they do have a dress code. Let's see what their dress code is. Clothing optional. Preferably none. Bare as you dare. Portland is home to the world's largest naked bike ride. The official bike ride took place Saturday, July 26, 2025. The ride started at Grant Park in Northeast 33rd Avenue, U.S. Grant Place. Thousands of riders participated in the protest. There's, of course, photos. Another naked bike ride will be held on August 9th, 2025. And it tells you to read about the bike ride there. Organizers announced 2 rides for the summer of 2025. I guess they are going to have some in the summer. Now, this isn't just one city. There are like 30 cities that do this across the United States, and many areas around the world participate in it. One of the official World Naked Bike Ride Plus, in addition to the ride scheduled independently. The WBR is a demonstration for bicyclist safety, encouraging motorists to be aware of cyclists. It also protests against dependency on fossil fuels and the automotive culture. This protest ride, or it's a protest ride, so body paint and signs are encouraged to highlight your concern for the climate crisis, oil dependency. I guess somehow they did add in LGBTQ rights, which I don't know, that I was never about that, and it still is not, as far as I'm concerned. Abortion access and other political, social issues. In Oregon, being clothing free while protesting is considered an exercise of free speech, so it is not illegal. Now, the requirement there is that you're trying to either cause alarm or, whatnot. There's several key issues there and this is an event that's scheduled well in advance. Yeah, there's public indecency laws, but this isn't an indecency necessarily. Primarily because they're not there to. It's not perverse. The Portland WMBR raises awareness of body dysmorphia and helps shape the public opinion by challenging how society views body shape and size, as well as questioning conventional notions of beauty. Okay, there's where we'll skip ahead a little. There's where it is. Over 70 cities around the world liberating themselves from clothing. We demonstrate the vulnerability of cyclists. We also increase self-esteem by promoting body positivity. We celebrate the idea that all humans are beautiful and none are perfect. Now, I will have to admit, in the beginning of this conversation, I kind of put my wagon before the horse. So I should have immediately brought up that the bike ride wasn't, and as far as I'm concerned, never was, or it's not a pride event. It seems to be that there has been some mix of LGBT, well, because, they're vulnerable people, I imagine, and it's primarily about showing vulnerabilities. I still argue on the fact that it was started as and mostly carried as an awareness of the vulnerability of bicyclists on the road. Now, whether or not they should have it, I don't know, man. It's been happening for many years in many cities around the world. I don't see, you can make the argument that, well, what happens if children see it? They schedule these things long in advance. They schedule them enough to, everybody knows the naked bike rides coming through town and where they're going to be. So you can kind of, I don't mean to say that you should plan around it, but you can kind of plan around it. Now, as far as parents bringing their children, before I get into this video, there's a large argument from these neoconservative type people that the parents, the school shouldn't be teaching my child anything. The government shouldn't have anything to have to say to what my child learns about. Primarily, they're worried about race equality and I don't even know what the one is, but teaching about, I think it's race equality and people equality, teaching about the LGBTQ ideas or whatnot. And if you have an opinion either way, if that should be taught in school, that's fine. But the Republicans hold a strong argument that it's the parents' right to teach their child as they wish. If the parent decides to bring their child to an event like this, wouldn't you say it fits along that line of it's the parents' right to teach the child as they wish? Now, on a personal note, yeah, I think it's a little weird that you're bringing your children to an event like this that you know what's going to be there and you know you're going to have to answer questions. It's like, are you into self-torture trying to explain this to your child? Anyway, so we'll go ahead with the show. I ended up joining Sarah's panel. I wanted to join earlier. The topic was, Democrats could win the election if. And of course, I didn't think about primaries. I mostly was focused on the presidential election. But either way, this argument, part of this show ends up telling me, you know, Republicans may lose the election if they keep worrying about these little things that don't really matter, that don't really matter to a hill of beans. Nudity, breastfeeding, LGBTQ. At the same time, I would say that the argument somebody makes it later to me, I think in chat, maybe even in the show, is that the Democrats could also probably drop a lot of those sensitive topics and more address more of the, you know, we're not looking for sensationalism. We're looking for what changes our country in a whole. Yes, we need to address that issue. But maybe if both sides drop the hammer on that a little bit and just move to the more pressing issues, we will become a better nation. Don't get me wrong, I'm not make America great again type. That's nuts, man. We've always been great and we always will be. We're even great right now. We just we hit a speed bump. That's the best way to describe it, I guess. Anyway, let's get this show going on the road because it's got a while. And apparently, I don't know, man. I don't have a problem with Clay, but he seems to not like me today for some reason.
Who it seems like they have a certain set of traits, whatever, that have been identified, where this like group of people is seems to be more likely to end their lives if they don't have access to these sorts of things, whether it's surgeries or not, just having access to transitioning, right? And if there is data that supports what I just said, what is wrong with teaching that fact? That is a fact that there is data that supports that specifically.
Because there's not any data, because even after the surgery, they're deleting themselves at a record pace still. And I know you're going to bring the bullshit excuse up of, oh, they're bullied. Who cares? If you accept yourself, you don't care what others say. If you can't accept yourself.
Oh, I forgot. I got to skip forward a little bit. Well, we can go ahead and continue.
You do care what others say. It doesn't matter if people get bullied or not. Bullying has been happening since the beginning of time.
What if you care about having a home? What if your parents want to disown you?
Guess what? It happened to me when I was younger, and now
Hold on. That's a family issue, though. That's not a societal issue as a whole.
But if there's a pattern of specific people having this specific conflict with their families, then it is a societal issu. Yes.
So you know what's funny, Sarah?
Well, okay. Like, if I can't see it that way. If my parents reject me as their child, then that is their problem and my problem to deal with. And it's up to me on how I'm going to take that information and go forward with it. Now, if I choose to be down and depressed and miserable, that is my choice to make, to go that direction. And shout out to Ayatan for completing the goal with the Big Ten. And
now, that argument, when you're talking about adults, I can absolutely understand that argument. If the kid is 18 years old and the parents decide to kick him to the curb because he comes out about his sexuality, I can kind of understand the argument of, well, here, Buttercup, sorry, man, you're 18 and parents are horrible people, but you know, you're 18 and that's kind of how life is. But this is happening to people that are much younger than 18, that are basically forced to live with the parents that hate them and who have basically excommunicated themselves, but they're still in the same house.
Says tisk tisk tisk. And also, I want to let you all know I kicked off the gauntlet. So if you are watching over on the Raging Tomato, start
and I
heading
don't
over
know
to the
how
gauntlet. I'm
much I'll
setting
be
up the raid
chiming
now, and I'll
in
shut down the
because
Raging Tomato
this
side
is
here in
kind
2
of a
minutes.
little long,
So now's
especially
your time
since
to
I
make your way
did
over.
catch
I'll
the
drop the
first
link in the
like
chat
8 minutes
and have you
before I
raid
showed up.
over as well. So,
Now I
so,
initially
Ryan,
showed up. I initially showed up, and my computer was lagging so much. I didn't really want to go on the show because I was having some serious issues. So I, you know, told her that I was all cool, and I shut everything all down and restarted it and came back. And that's when the naked bike ride issue come up, and seeing that I'm from Portland, Oregon, and well, I actually support the movement, the whole, because I ride a bike, I ride on a scooter, I take public transit. I'm always vulnerable to the stupid people that just think that the only thing they have to be concerned with is that little black strip with the little lines painted on it. No, there's a whole world out there, guys, that you're not looking at while you're driving down the road.
or whoever go.
Well, so isn't it interesting, Sarah? Out of all the issues that I talked about, what's the thing that people want to talk about the most? The trans issue.
Yeah, they get so hung up on it.
That's all they give a shit about. They want. I talk
Alex,
about
because y'all are.
Jason, sweetheart,
they've shot up 2 schools recently, and you don't care about that.
Okay, first off, fuck you. I've talked about like school issues, okay?
Fuck you, bitch.
I talked about school shootings, and you don't give a shit about that because that's not part of your prerogative, okay?
Now this is Throwdown Thursday. I guess it is kind of a little bit accepted to have a little back and forth banter, a little more aggressive than normal.
I talked about the school shootings, but you just want to. Are you a chaser? Do you chase after trans people? Is
that
what it is?
No, I don't.
That's funny how he calls him out. He says, "Are you a chaser? Do you chase after trans people?" And the next quote is, "Harass them about them being trans." And watch him explain how he harasses somebody about being trans, and I guess ended up getting his butt beat.
Yeah, I bet you
Matter
do.
of fact, one time
I do not. Let me put out there, I do not support attacking somebody because they have words against you.
Assault me about 2 months ago for calling him a man because he was dressed as a woman, and he got arrested for it. My state's great.
Sure
they support people like me.
It's awesome to harass a trans person, dude. That's so cool for you.
But here's the thing.
No, he tried to assault me, Ryan. You got that backwards, Dumbo.
Right. I mean, he shouldn't insult you, but
like, I talked about a variety of other big issues, but what's the thing that people focus on? They focused on the trans issue.
Okay, Alex, let's go to the other thing I brought up in
let's
chat.
talk about it, Jason.
No, hey, Alex, shut up. Let's run
Okay,
hey,
go ahead.
Hey, little boy, shut up.
I'm sorry,
Hey,
go ahead.
I'm going to treat you like one of my employees. Shut up, Alex, or I'm going to have to fire you.
So fuck yourself, honestly.
All right. The transgender issue, and I won't even disagree with that because
you're really red, Alex. I wonder why.
For a long time,
maybe I need to adjust my color on here.
For a long time, our panels, we could go down any direction of a topic, whether it's political, societal, cultural, whatever, didn't matter. It always ended on transgender issues.
There we go.
So I am finding that is a, seems to be the common denominator. But like I said earlier, Alex, I think the pinpoint is that once we allow one thing to go, then another thing follows, and another thing follows, and another thing follows. That's the problem with Pandora's box. When you open it up, you can't shut it back all the way. So I think that's why, because if we allow the transgender issues to continue on, how much more? Because we already see maps, the PDF people.
Fuck those people.
Right. But But if you allow room for one and you say we have to accept them because it's a mental illness, they can't help it. Then you have to. Oh, they're going to unalive themselves because people reject them.
Absolutely
It's
correct,
the same
Nicody.
argument. So if you
Wait,
apply
no,
this
it's not.
argument
wait.
one way, then they're going. Oh, but I want to be
Super shot.
Consensually.
Ryan, I got this.
What
Okay.
if the child says, "Yeah, I love them
So,
too"?
children can't consent. Children might say yes, they still can't consent.
What
Ryan,
if
don't
the
do this.
parent? What if the parent's a fucked
How
up
about it's
person
been
and
what?
they allow it?
Hey, Sarah, how about it's been proven that the Biden administration, when
A
they
lot of
brought
people
people
are.
from overseas during the evacuation of Afghanistan, brought child brides of the people they were bringing over here to America with them?
Speaking of moving,
Source?
I'm going to shut down the Raging Tomatoes side. Start heading over to the Gauntlet. The link is dropped in the chat.
You know, sometimes when I'm sitting on these panels, I can't help but think to myself, do you guys remember the Blue Collar Comedy Tour? I can't remember the guy's name that did the joke, and I'm not gonna have the joke exactly as he tells it, which is good because then that kind of protects a little bit from copyright infringement. But there's this kid in high school who's going up on debate. He's doing his high school debate, and you know, he gets all set up. He has everything planned out what he's gonna say in the debate, and right in the beginning of the debate, the guy's opening argument just destroys everything. I mean, it just absolutely rips apart every bit of his argument. He has nothing left to argue on. So when it comes up to his turn to debate, he says, "Yeah, well, screw you." And everybody went silent. Well, apparently he thought he had won until he ended up in the principal's office. That joke is to highlight that is not a form of debate. It's really not a form of debate to tell somebody, shut the fuck up, which I hear all the time on this channel. It's not a form of debate to just, just shout out whatever randomly comes out to your mind to try to silence the person with the opposing opinion. Debate is meant to have conversation back and forth.
Or you could catch the raid on over. Many ways you can find your way over there. If you don't follow us over there, then you're an asshole and fuck off. Okay.
Alex wanted to, was questioning me before I got up here about the Muslim who said that. It was in Michigan, Dearborn, Michigan. He told a preacher, "I will throw a parade in my city whenever you leave because you preach hate. So I will throw a celebration when you leave my city."
Okay. So a mayor said he'd throw a celebration when a person that preaches hate leaves his city. What's your point? What's your point? Now you're going to try to bring up its freedom of speech. Well, isn't it? Isn't it freedom of speech to say I'll throw a parade when you leave my city?
Wait, does he preach?
Holy shit. One Muslim. Oh my God.
Does he
He's the mayor of a town, Alex.
Does the guy preach hate?
According to the Muslim, but I don't really trust him.
Maybe he's right. Maybe I'd be out there celebrating with him.
Stop.
And then Ron, that's why we celebrate when
Brian's
bad
mic
things happen.
Brian's mic is like super loud.
Hold on. Listen
Good
for a
enough, sir.
second.
But
Listen.
in
Yeah.
a way,
Ryan.
no, in a way, is that bad? Seeing that people like to talk over him, he's able to cue in whenever he'd like.
What is wrong with your mic? Why does it keep
There's-
going? Like, I keep turning
It's not
it
changing on
down,
my end. I don't
but
know.
It keeps like blasting. Are you doing that thing where you get really close to it again?
He's leaning in when he talks, Sarah.
I mean, slightly, but I'm barely moving. Like I'm not leaning in far.
Maybe push your mic a little further away because it's the game. Yeah.
My gain's all the way
Yeah,
down, so
sometimes
maybe
I
my
fail at
computer's
that
doing something
too.
with gain, but my mic itself is not. the gain
That
is not
sounds
high.
better, whatever you're doing now. But I'm still gonna turn
Okay,
you
so
down
didn't
a
change.
nudge because it is coming in a little
So
loud.
for additional context, He's talking about a guy by the name of Ted Barham. He told him he was not welcome there. Although you live here, I want you to know as a mayor, you're not welcome here. And the day you move out of the city will be the day I'll launch a parade celebrating the fact you move out of the city, because the guy was saying some pretty fucked up shit. So anyway,
it's called freedom of speech. Oh wait, we always do know what freedom of speech.
It doesn't mean freedom from consequences, sir. It doesn't mean freedom from consequences, sir. It applies to everybody. Him. But anyway, Sarah, I wanted to actually bring something up, okay? Because you talked about so we're talking about maps. The second you start allowing one, you can start grabbing a group another, okay? We can hold that same.
It wasn't allowing. Okay, now what was happening in Texas? Let me explain that. They were trying to redistrict the map for whatever reason to make it a stronger Republican area, which Texas is already primarily Republican. But what happened in California was a vote by the American people to redistrict the map. Nobody's forcing, no government is forcing that to happen. It was a vote by the American people. That's funny. True. And true.
Standard to Christian people if we start seeing the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan marks, because what are they? They are Christian extremists.
You mean Democrats? Yeah, I agree.
No, they're not.
The
Democrats.
KKK was really bad.
They were conservatives. They were conservatives, sir.
No, they weren't. The Green Party switch was BS. I can just prove that.
Stop. I'm gonna fucking crush this guy's soul right now.
No, you really aren't, Alex.
I really am.
Listen.
Oh yeah, my truck driving degree. I mean, I went to a truck driving
school. Jason. Listen to me.
And the funny thing is she told everybody she was on her last nerve already, and everybody's just pressing them.
We're going to go one at a time because you guys are starting to interrupt each other to a point where it's actually more harmful to the show than helpful. So we're going to have our fun, but we're going to go one at a time, and we're going to stop interrupting each other. Thank you. All right. So, Alex, you were referring to the KKK and that concept, but our laws don't allow for racism in terms of if there's hate killings and things like that. We actually are very much against that. We don't allow that. So what point, which direction are you going with that?
My point was the fact that the LGBTQ plus community actually denounces maps on a very wide basis. Like every time they've tried to roll in the pride parades, they've been kicked out and they've been denounced wholeheartedly. The same should be done for the KKK. And the only reason I bring this is because the KKK can actually march openly in our city streets without problem whatsoever. Now, that's their right according to the Constitution. I can disagree with them. I can say they're all pieces of shit. They're all horrible human beings, but it is still their right.
I can even say I'll throw a parade when they leave my city.
Exceptions to certain members of the LGBTQ plus community, then the maps are going to come out. The same can be said, for the Christians to say, hey, here comes the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. These guys are coming out here. They're going to start talking about want to kill black people, get rid of all the Jews and stuff like that. Just because the LGBTQ plus community might say one thing doesn't mean they're automatically going to adapt maps. And I hold the same standard.
Yeah, they haven't mentioned a bike ride up until this point. See, my computer was having problems, and I had already made up my mind not to go up on the show. It was right when they mentioned the naked bike ride. I was like, wait a minute, they're representing this thing wrong.
Christians to not adopt what the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan is going to do. Now, before Jason jumps in, okay, we need to understand something, though, okay? The conservative base vehemently defends the Confederacy. Who started the KKK? It was offshoots of the Confederacy, essentially.
Watch this denial. This is funny. Now, let me ask a question before he gets into this. When you see a big Ford truck with a huge flag hanging off the back of it, rebel flag, do you think to yourself, you know what, that guy voted for Biden?
The Confederacy, after they lost the Civil War, they moved and went to Tennessee and started the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. As a matter of fact, this is based upon historical fact.
The KKK was a Democratic organization. It was the Great Party switch is based off a myth because all the Dixiecrats, besides I think it was 3, lost the very next election and Republicans took over. You might want to study a little bit of history, Alex.
Sweetheart,
somebody else
I
was.
lived in
Hold
the
on.
South.
Somebody else was trying to chime in there.
Alex,
Who was
I
it?
live in the South now.
Hold on, Jason. Hold on. Who else was trying to chime in on that? I heard a voice.
Jason and Clay.
Alex, you said something. I want to make sure you heard what you said.
Mhm.
Did you say that conservatives defend the Confederacy? Like that's
Yes.
like a conservative movement thing? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say conservative movement, but they completely approve of the Confederacy every time the
You
Confederacy
sound
mentioned.
fucking insane, and I mean that as clearly as I can.
Okay,
That
that's
is
not an
not a
argument.
talking point that conservatives wake up and they go down to their Clark County Republican meeting, they go down to their state Republican meeting, and they say the South will rise again, is what you're saying, and you just sound fucking retarded. Did I misunderstand what you're saying?
They don't do that. They
Okay,
don't do that.
okay, understand something, sir. Okay, when was the last time you actually saw a Confederate flag at a progressive party?
Look, that you claim that was a conservative issue that conservatives care about.
That's not what I asked.
I'm
How about you
asking you to
actually answer
demonstrate
the
that.
fucking question, you dishonest fuck? Answer the question.
I'm sorry you're so fucking
Josh,
stupid. I
he
am.
calls
What's the
names every
question?
time he loses
Yes.
an argument.
Jason,
No.
hold on.
Someone who
Alex,
lives in the
what's
South, right wingers pull out
Alex,
the
what-
Confederate.
You know, I have to admit, though, when I went up on panel, the first thing I brought up was the ICE protest and the bike ride. I most certainly should have addressed the LGBTQ. It's not a pride event. They have incorporated into this because they are vulnerable peoples, but it's not a pride event. And I should have probably addressed that issue first. I probably should have summed that up before I moved on to you guys are only concerned about it because you learned about it yesterday, so to speak. And somehow it offends you. I believe in Clay's position. He just learned about it today.
Flag and fly it.
Coming from you,
Is
Jason.
this
Okay,
new
Okay,
to
I'm
you
sorry.
guys?
Did you not hear what question I asked? When was the last
No,
time
I
you saw?
didn't. What's your
Okay,
question?
you did,
Gentlemen, I'm
Yeah, that's
going
funny.
to say it one more time. Stop fucking interrupting each other. You're all gentlemen as of now, but I will
Sometimes.
refer to you as toddlers if you continue doing this going forward. Go ahead, Alex.
My question was, when was the last time you saw a Confederate flag or the flag of Virginia, however you want to word it, at a progressive or liberal rally compared to one you might see at a conservative rally?
I've seen them both never at any rally of any political movement.
Interesting, because I see it all the time, especially in conservative areas, especially at Trump rallies. You'll see the Confederate flag flying everywhere. When I remember when they were
Where's
talking
the
about
conservative
You
area?
sound fucking retarded.
okay, fine, you can drop the arsenal all you want to, but it doesn't make you right. Okay.
Okay, you sound fucking insane. Does that
Oh,
make
I
you feel
sound fucking
better?
insane. That's not an argument. Once again, you're just not making
No,
a good point.
your issue was you claim conservatives care about this issue, right? Confederacy, whatever. So I said, hey, can you point to that? And they go, well, do you ever see it anywhere else? Well, no.
Okay,
but
I'll
this
point
is
it out to you
just
then.
like-
Okay, when they were talking about changing the names of Confederate of military bases named after Confederate generals, who threw the biggest hissy fit? Liberals or conservatives? Let's hear it.
Who the
Or
hell
monument.
cares?
Probably conservatives.
Hey, Alex,
You're moving your claim.
I'm not
I've got a
moving my
question,
claim. It's
Alex.
on base. Josh, are you not
No,
listening
you're
to what I'm
moving
asking?
your claim.
I'm not moving the claim. It's on point.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry
Oh.
that you're not able to
Well, he
fucking
says he's
put
not
two
moving the
sentences.
claim.
I'm not moving the claim. It's actually
Okay.
consistent. But
Okay.
can you not answer the question?
What
let's
the
talk about
fuck?
something current. Who has
We are-
who has
hold on,
gay
Jason.
people riding a bicycle down the street naked?
Well, that's
Who cares?
Alex.
A lot of people care, Ryan.
Yeah, I would care about that.
Jason
I
actually
really
cares.
care about that.
Jason
Like
cares
it-
because he needs something to beat his meat to, honestly.
I
so.
do. No, I need no for real. Like if someone's riding their bicycle down the street naked, like that is a serious matter.
It happens every year at the port in Portland every fucking year, and nobody.
Yeah.
And they
So
should be
he's doing
thrown in jail for public nudity.
Not if it's
it's
legal
against
to
the
do
law.
it, right? Not if it not everywhere. No, it's not actually.
It's
This is
not
a
free
perfect
speech.
example of what goes on in this country. You guys hyper focus on the smallest, most inconsequential
Exactly.
shit.
FNG
Yeah,
with the
why
fucking
should
W.
you focus on the criminals when they do crimes? Oh
Wait,
my
these
God.
if these people aren't criminals, if the law in the area they're doing this does not say that they're not like if
Well,
they're
give me
actually
an example.
allowed to do this bike. I'm sorry, can I finish the question? If they're
Yeah,
actually
you
allowed
would,
to do this
but-
bike ride, if they're allowed to do this
Have a
bike ride,
massive amount of
Clay!
gain coming through.
Hold on.
if they are allowed
blowing
to
out my
legally,
eardrum, Sarah.
well, then take your headphones off and piss off.
I don't
If they-
know what's up with your mic.
Well, I'm sorry. Luckily, I'm leaving soon, so we'll figure it out next time, right? But if they are allowed, if they're legally allowed to ride their bikes out there, who gives a shit if Jason cries about it, right? They're not criminals unless they're actually breaking a specific law.
Can I break in on this? I live in Portland, Oregon, and I can very clearly explain the naked bike ride. It has nothing to do with ICE. It has never had anything to do with ICE. It has never had anything to do with the Trump administration. What it is about people being insecure. People, yes, the bike ride is about you're basically naked on the highways. Look around all you want, Clay. You are naked on the highways with all the cars. Now, as I said, I should have probably started with addressing it's not the quote-unquote gay bike ride. But it's not like I was making bad arguments. Now, unfortunately, this whole interaction kind of makes me think Clay has an issue with me. And I wonder if maybe that issue is possibly because I held on to a position that I felt strongly upon. And I argued my position apparently well enough that it has stuck with him. He seems to not like me very much, which I don't have any hard feelings towards him, man. It's a debate panel. When you go up on these debate panels, you argue your ideas. You may be wrong, you may be right. That doesn't, I mean, it does matter, but you should be able to move on to the next panel without holding a grudge. I don't hate any of these people on this panel. There are some of them that I strongly disagree with their opinions, but I don't hate any of them. I'm not mad at any of them. Around you. Look up the bike ride, dumbass. And I really had to kind of stop myself from telling him straight off that I know the moment that probably pissed him off. My guess is it's the moment that I held strongly to the idea that a person who calls themselves a Christian and spews Christian nonsense constantly should not be holding on to hard drink, which is considered rage in the Bible. It's rage in the Bible, and I showed you very clearly it was rage in the Bible. And it is not my fault that your idiot little friend threw away his Bible. Threw it out. Asked me, do I know who the prophets, if the prophets were really the prophets, if the canon's really the canon, if I trust. Whatever happened to that faith? It melted. It melted when he wanted to gamble for a drink. I can't help that, man. I can't help that. Sorry. Sorry that my arguments were too clear, too bold, and too true. Can't you move on? We don't have to have this little bitter back and forth on every single panel. But I just went ahead and continued on with what I had to say. Anyway,
who brought up
you
ICE?
are naked. Somebody did just a minute ago. The naked.
No, they
bike
didn't.
ride. And I was running out of air
Naked
because
people on the
I'm trying to spit out my whatever I have to say in the middle of being cut off. So I kind of was running out of air a bit, and I think I had a cigarette just before I joined, and a big old bong hit. Speaking of.
Bring up
treats.
a naked person on a bike. Go ahead and finish, sirs.
Thank you. So the naked bike ride is basically you're naked on the freeway with all these cars, all these heavy machinery when you're riding on the bike. So when people get hit and killed, you can hear me trying. A lot of people get hit and killed. It originally started as an awareness to a vulnerability of the bicyclist. That's why here in Portland we decided to ride the bike ride across the ice, because the people at the ICE protest are vulnerable against these ICE, the DHS agents that are shooting them with pepper balls for, excuse me, with pepper balls for mostly following their orders. They tell them not to cross the blue line. They don't cross the blue line, and they light them up with pepper balls. I filmed it all night long. Man, I totally almost ran out of breath there.
I thought somebody said something about naked people in public.
Yes, and the person specifically was talking about gay, which I didn't think about addressing, primarily because it's not necessarily a gay event. I did most certainly address the ICE issue, and it most certainly was a bike ride that we were taught, the naked bike ride, the world naked bike ride that he's referring to, that you just learned about.
I thought that's what the conversation was about, not about ICE
I believe
protest.
Jason R. brought
No,
up
I didn't
the
say anything about
naked
ICE. I
bike
said
ride.
LGBT.
Right, and it's not really about that.
I never said ICE.
Were you talking about the naked bike ride?
Yeah, naked
Yes,
people.
but
in
not-
public.
Yes, you were. That's exactly what you were
God,
talking
you're
about. So
stupid.
stuff it, Clay.
Naked
You're
people in
dumb.
public. You're cool with naked people being in front of children.
This is where it goes. This is the trigger. This is the trigger. No, I'm not okay with naked people being in front of children. No, I'm not okay with it. I'm not the person that sets up the event. I didn't set it up. But obviously, cities around the world have all decided that this is something acceptable. Who am I to fight society, man? The event has happened for decades. It's nothing new.
you're
You guys
cool.
are freaking out about something
So
as
you're-
if it's brand new.
No, I'm asking you. You're cool with naked people in front of children.
Well, most of them primarily aren't naked.
Yes or
There's
no,
a large
dude?
number
This is
of
what
them
we're
are
doing in the
naked,
chat
and I'm not
yesterday.
cool. I'm not cool with naked people in front of children. For the most part, what I see in the naked bike ride isn't any violence, people just riding down the street. Now, as far as where are their kids, their kids are brought there by their parents. If anybody is to be looked at, it's the parents that bring the kids. It is the parents' choice to bring their children or not. You know what's happening at that
That's
event.
another problem too.
Why is that a problem? You guys argue all the time. It's the parents' choice to teach their children what they want to teach their children. If they don't want subject A, B, or C in the conversation at school, or they don't want counselors to guide their children on information about A, B, or C, that they should have the right to raise their children the way they wish to raise their children, I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong to bring them to pride festivals. I think it's wrong to bring them to freaking naked bike rides. I think it's wrong to bring them to a protest. While I was out there on the street, I saw fucktards with their kids out there. That's the worst place to bring a kid. But according to the argument on the conservative side, it is the parents' right to teach their child as they wish. And Clay, you live in the city of Florida, or in the state of Florida, PAP. Anyway, you live in the state of Florida. In the state of Florida, there are nude beaches. In the state of Florida, there is no law against children, of course, present with their parents at nude beaches. The parents are responsible for educating their children. What's wrong with that argument? Apparently, it seems to be a very conservative argument. What's wrong with that argument? You know what's happening at that event.
What's wrong with you, dude?
Some of y'all need to grow the fuck
Fucking
up, seriously,
weirdo.
because there are nude beaches all across the country, all across the world, and
Yeah,
it's not a big
children
fucking.
aren't allowed to go to those private nude
They're not.
beaches.
That's not true.
Nobody,
actually.
okay, the children
Children
didn't go
aren't
there on
allowed
their
to- I
own.
lived
The
in
parents
Germany.
brought them
Nude
children.
places where people are allowed to be naked.
Clay, you're
They're
sexualizing
not
everything, and that's a
public
that's a you
places,
problem,
dude.
not a me problem. Okay, that's
They're
you are
not-
Yes,
sexualizing
big
everything.
time.
Traditional public forum.
It's not sexual, sir.
Stupid.
It's not like people are walking around with fucking
Yeah,
raging hard-ons
look,
all the time.
If
Okay,
I throw my balls in your face, it's not sexual.
Well, then that's a sexual act, okay?
No, it's sexual assault, sir.
Hey, that's a different story.
Okay. So if I show you my balls
But people aren't throwing. People are not.
See, that's what I call. I don't know if I'm right on that. Maybe somebody can correct me. But I think that's an appeal to emotion. What you're doing is you're getting the people in the audience to oh yeah, he's winning this one, man. He said that. That's what I think it is. I think it's an appeal to emotion. I may be wrong on my description of that. No, it would be sexual assault, Clay. That's what it would be. It would not
if I showed you
be.
my balls right now, there's a reason that shit's not allowed on YouTube.
It's okay.
Stupid.
Clay,
Listen,
it's okay.
Stupid.
Clay, it's okay.
It's not
Clay,
cool to
hold
show
on.
your balls to people other than your spouse, maybe.
Correct. I think it would be
That's only
considered
amazing.
sexual assault, sir.
Fucking weirdo.
Especially if you stuff them in their face.
Yeah, but like that's not happening
guys
like
have
in places
weird
like
fucking
Germany.
Hey, you know what? I haven't even done a roll call. I know Tom's watching. Hey Tom. And we got Cody and shit. Sorry guys. Uncle Ernie, how you doing? Merry Christmas, everybody. Keebler. I feel such man almighty. Should have said hi to everybody. I feel so bad. My little birthday party, according to Shiz. Yeah, do you know that? That she's got some problem with me having a small little birthday party of friends.
Hang up
Like
about nudity.
it's not happening in places like Germany. Like it's
not
treated
a
like a
weird
nothing.
hang up, dude. I
We don't
want
care
naked
about
people in
Germany.
Public.
I know.
Well, that, I think, yeah, but he was talking about stuffing his balls in somebody's face. That most certainly is an assault. I think once you get to the, in the face part of that. Oops.
We don't
I
care
don't
about
want naked
Germany.
people in public.
the
I
thing
think
is-
It's not
women
about
lascivious.
being naked, Clay. It is about vulnerability. You are
It's
vulnerable.
about people being naked. Yeah, we know, dude.
That's not
I
what
don't
it's
want
about at
naked
all.
people
Thinking
in
of Cody.
public.
Read
What the
up on it a
fucking
little
weirdo
bit. Find out
shit
what
is
it's
this?
about instead of
It-
just freaking out because you
They
saw
don't-
some naked people.
It's things they don't
Clay, do you
understand,
think-
sir.
Clay, do you think any painting that has
You
naked
just don't
people in it
understand,
is
man. I just got to
pornography?
show you my balls right now.
This guy went on this forever.
Don't
Oh, you
get
just
serious.
like maybe I should invite him up for game night. That would be fun. Saying
cancel,
show you
okay?
balls because it's a appeal to emotion. You think
Okay,
you're
well, let me
winning
show
by
you
it.
my asshole reamed out all the way.
You're being far too emotional. Okay,
The
you're being
fuck?
far too emotional.
No, I am absolutely talking about a real issue
It's
about
not a real
naked
issue.
people in public. Yes, this is
Scourge
a
of
real
naked
issue.
people.
If naked people are in front of children, this is a problem for me. Yes.
They should get their rears beat.
Hey, you want another funny thing? I forgot what I said. I'll have to go back and find out what the heck I said.
If they're
And this
naked in front of a child.
This is the problem with the Democratic Party, is because we tell you it's a problem, and you're like, you just don't
Oh
understand.
no,
I need to
not
show
my
my
birthday.
balls.
Not my okay. I get it now. I guess according to Shiz that my viewers are only a little birthday party of people. Who cares, man? They're good people. They're all good people, and that's what I like. And you know what? They'll tell me I'm wrong when I'm wrong. Heck, the other day I think I bipped somebody out the channel for being for bringing up self-deletion, and one of my mods was like, why did you do that? It was I think Nightwolf, and I had to explain to him, and I did. Yep, right there, live on my show. I don't have a yes man group. Anyway, back to this subject.
To the little ones. The fuck, bro?
You're sexualizing everything, and you're making it seem like
Yeah.
everybody wants.
Bro,
like
they're
think that's what
called
they're doing.
sexual organs for a
Oh,
reason.
it was Nakoti, I guess.
Your balls, your
Sorry.
dick, your
You guys have
asshole.
such weird hang-ups. It's crazy.
They have such
The
weird
titties,
hangups.
the female
You and
titties,
people.
You know, men can
Have
show
you
their
ever,
actually,
Clay,
men can
have
show
you
their-
ever
okay for men
seen
to show
the
their
naked
nipples?
bike
It's not
ride?
cool. It's not cool to show your nipples to the little ones.
Is it
But-
okay
but-
for a woman to?
This is crazy. Now here's where the conversation goes south. Apparently, Clay believes that breastfeeding is a sexual thing.
Breastfeed in public? Is it
Hey,
okay
Cody,
for a
man.
woman to
It
breastfeed
really,
in public?
in my opinion, it's not a good thing.
Why not?
no.
So she
It's
can't
not
feed her
good.
child in
Just saying.
public?
Topic.
She should
Are-
take that shit to the car.
See, even Effigy is saying we should probably get on topic, and I do actually try to get this back on topic because I'm really not wanting to talk about this subject.
Dude.
Why?
The
And
fuck?
even when they do, they're supposed to
Because
cover
it
up.
might make Clay uncomfortable.
Hello, Katie.
Exactly. They might make Clay uncomfortable.
Okay,
That's what it is.
It's
That's the
not
only
about
reason.
uncomfortability. It's a sexual thing, bro.
Why? But what?
Literally.
No.
You're
Child sexual.
wait.
I
I
took-
wait. Stop. Did this
I
guy
took
literally say
sex
it's
ed
no,
in
stop,
high
stop.
school, and
Shut
what
the
they
fuck up.
taught me
Did you
was
literally
the
say
balls,
it's
the
sexual?
titties, the pussy, the asshole. All of these things are part of sexual organs.
Let's all.
Wow, his sex ed teacher failed him in high school. If that's what they taught him, that just because body parts are not equal to sexuality.
Let's all woosah together. I don't know. It's the moon
Woosah.
full. Is it like Mercury in retrograde? But Clay, you've been extra antsy, especially the last couple weeks, and I need you especially. Okay? You guys are like a little out of control tonight, and it's
So think about this. If you're so guys take showers with guys all the time. All of those body parts are seen. None of it is sexual. The same with women take showers with women all the time. Well, not all the time, but in sports and stuff. None of that is considered sexual. I had to make sure to clarify sports because, well, anyway, let's say that you're a captive. Let's say that you're being held captive, you and a lady, and you're tied together. And your hostage takers force you to shower. If ever once anything sexual crosses your mind, there's something fucked up about you.
I already have established the fact that I already don't have very much patience this evening. So let's be realistic here when we're talking to each other and have some common degree of respect. Okay? Iotin says with the Big Ten, my guy, breastfeeding is not sexual. No, it is not. If anybody thinks it is a fool and an immature little asshole. Okay.
That's on you, Clay.
Are the women's breasts considered sexual when they pull them out?
Not to feed the child. Simple answer. Back to the debate topic. So, I was kind of confused.
Sarah.
You see how I'm trying to wait, we need to, it went dead silent. I'm like, wait, we need to divert.
Sarah,
On
no,
exactly what the,
that literally was addressed to me, asshole.
No,
Shut
hold
the
on,
fuck
stop
up.
a
It's already
second.
been
No,
addressed.
stop,
It's
stop,
not
stop, stop,
wasn't
stop, stop.
sexual.
What the fuck? Shut up. No, Clay, it's not considered sexual if a woman pulls her breast out to feed her child. It is literally nutrition and the source of food for a baby. No, it's not sexual. Now, if she's running around flinging her boobs around, throwing breast milk everywhere and saying, ooh, come get some, that's a whole nother topic and ball game. But overall, if a woman is feeding her
Right.
child and whips a boob out, I don't care if you think that it's sexual, if you pervert that whole concept, if you
That's
do
you
that,
problem.
then you're a fucking
Shut the
pervert.
fuck up,
But
Zuzuzi.
That's exactly what she was saying, dingbat. All I was doing was agreeing with the young lady.
overall, shut the
Retard.
fuck up, both of you. But overall, No, a woman feeding her child, whether she covers it with a little blankie or not, is not sexual. It might be uncomfortable for the viewer because, well, we just don't look at boobs all day unless
Yeah,
it's
made
like
Tom
a
a good
perverted
cup of
direction.
coffee. You need any more
But,
coffee? Let me know.
Like, we don't see breastfeeding women in our faces all day, every day. It's just not what we see all the time. But if it makes you uncomfortable, that is a you problem, not a mother and child problem. Thank you.
Well,
Now,
so
I
I'm
would like
gonna
a little bit of clarification, considering the fact that you said that it's not sexual. Okay. A woman breastfeeding her child is not sexual, but her whipping her titty out is. Is it or is it not?
How do you
Can I help
expect
you,
her to
Clay?
What is-
breastfeed her child without whipping her titty
Shut
out?
the fuck up, stupid.
You asked the
What is-
question,
Hold on,
dumbass.
stop.
As far as I know, this is the debate panel, and yes, Sarah is a female and can't answer that question, but she just answered the question for you.
Stop.
You
God
retard.
Damn it. All right.
Are you a woman, Sir Susie?
We're
No,
gonna.
you're not.
We're
That's a qualification fallacy. I don't have to be a woman to understand that that's not sexual. That's most certainly a qualification fallacy.
gonna all fucking shut the fuck up. What is you're saying when she whips the boob out to feed her baby?
You know what Clay needs? This is what Clay needs. Let's see.
Sit down and don't talk.
That's sexual.
No. I said, is her whipping her titty out sexual in nature?
Is she breastfeeding a child or not? No. So just a random woman out in the middle of the
Are you
street.
going to move the goal?
I'm trying to ask the
Goalpost.
clarification to understand what the
Now he's trying to pretend like he's not talking about a child. The conversation is breastfeeding. The only person that's going to try to move the goalpost is you right now. You're going to try to move the goalpost of what about if there's no child? If there's no child there, it's not breastfeeding. She just explained that. Oh, wait, let me, darn it, I dropped that clip. Let me pull that clip up again real quick. Video file. Which folder is it in? Output. Let's see, I think she explained it really well.
around like flinging her boobs around, throwing breast milk everywhere and saying, "Ooh, come get some." That's a whole nother topic and ball game.
Do we need to hear that again?
Around like flinging her boobs around, throwing breast milk everywhere and saying, "Ooh, come get some." That's a whole nother topic and ball game.
That's a whole nother topic and ball game. That's a whole nother topic. We are specifically talking about feeding a child.
What you're talking about?
So
Do I have a baby in my arms to feed? Yes or no?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Oh, it does.
Yes, it does, Clay.
So the first action that I'm asking, is a woman whipping her titty out sexual in nature?
To feed a child or just to whip a titty out of nowhere?
To whip the titty out.
Oh my God. There's no child in her arms to feed.
This is the problem with the answer
No,
that you're trying to
this-
get out of me.
Now, I try to step here in a minute, and of course he yells over me because he doesn't understand woman feeding her child isn't sexual in nature. But I try to, okay, now, there can be a point when a woman breastfeeding her child could be viewed as sexual in nature, and that's, let's say the woman is, she's eyeballing you. Let's say you're sitting in a doctor's office. This is a good way to explain it. You're sitting in a doctor's office and she, starts feeding her child. But while she's feeding her child, she's shooting you all the little hot hookup looks she can shoot. She's smiling and giving you all that. And she's kind of like rubbing her hand. She is most certainly treating that as a sexual thing. However, if you are at all in any way, shape, or form attracted to that and not absolutely appalled by that person's actions, that's you. That's you. You're the one that's messed up.
No, Clay,
You want a qualifier.
there is a
But
big
but it's a very simple
no,
question.
Clay, this is where I'm like banging you on the head right now. If I'm whipping my titty out, the fact that you even say you're whipping your titty out to feed your baby is the problem. Okay? When you raise your shirt and feed your child, you're not just like, look at my titties, everyone. Like, I'm gonna feed my baby, so you should look at my poop. That's not what these mothers are doing at all. They're probably lifting, or they may even have shirts that have the little drop pieces and things like that. So they're doing minimal work. But even if she just lifts up,
sit down and don't talk,
to feed the child, that is not sexual in any nature. If you think it's sexual and if you are uncomfortable with it, that is a you problem. Now, however, I'll add in, if it's a random girl out in the middle of the street with no baby in tow and she has zero intentions of feeding a child and she just simply
Shut the fuck up, Zerzy.
All I'm doing is agreeing with her, dude. What is your hang up?
And she just simply lifts her shirt up and says, look at my titties, and she's flashing the high beams and whatever. Her intentions are completely different. She wants you to look at her titties for sexualization. That is different. When a mom is feeding her baby, she just wants to feed her baby. Does that make sense, Clay?
I never added the whole part about the baby thing. That's
Yes, we were talking about breastfeeding. Man almighty. Is this guy firing on all cylinders? What do you think we were talking about? Well, I wanted to talk about the Portland bike ride, which isn't necessarily a pride thing. It's sure there's people that are LGBT within the bike ride, but it's primarily about the safety of the riders, and people need to be more aware of the riders on the streets, especially in places where there are laws preventing them from being on a sidewalk.
You're the one adding the baby part.
You just asked me about fucking
Feeding a baby.
You keep adding the baby part. I keep asking you one simple question.
Asked me if breastfeeding was sexual.
No.
Sarah, may I step in for a second?
They asked me that.
You know what?
They asked me that.
Pardon me for just a moment. I'm going to read super chats. This is where I left off. My guy, breastfeeding is not sexual, and this is where Clay interrupted me and wanted me to tell him whether breastfeeding was or was not sexual.
And that's because Clay brought up that breastfeeding was sexual. Anywho, so this was one hell of a ride. As always, you guys are awesome. Remember, you don't have to be wise. Just don't submit to stupid. And my God, breastfeeding is not sexual. Have a good day. Merry Christmas.
Around, like flinging her boobs around, throwing breast milk everywhere, and saying, "Ooh, come get some." That's a whole nother topic and ball game.
Snow falling like overdue bills. Yeah. Lights flicker, wallets shiver, but we still here. December hit hard, like a slap from the rent tree. Looking at dead, but it's all that I spent. Kids want gifts, man, I wish I could bless them, but tariffs got the prices doing full flexing. Stores blast carols while they drain your soul. Every holiday deal got a hidden toll. Santa in the mall looking tired and bitter. Whisper, bro, I'm broke too, don't post it on Twitter. We light up the block, though the pockets stay cold. No money in the bank, but the spirit won't fold. Laugh when we can't keep the pain on low. Christmas still hits even when the funds don't flow. When the funds don't flow. We light up the block, though the pockets stay cold. No money in the bank, but the spirit won't fold. Laugh when we can't keep the pain on low. Christmas still hits even when the funds don't flow. When the funds don't flow. Grandma knit a sweater with a hole in the sleeve. Said times are tough, baby, but we still believe. We nod like prophets in a budget cut, trying to stay warm off a Sterno cup. Yeah, dinner looking.
You would be surprised how hard it was to teach my bot to say Sterno cup.
Sit at the table like kings of the night, turning struggle into stories, trying to meet the price. Cousin pulled a flexing in a brand new ride, but the rental sticker still stuck on sides. He said, imports tax, what you want me to do? We dab him up anyway, we all broke too. We light up the block, though the pockets stay cold. No money in the bank, but the spirit won't fold. Laugh when we can't keep the pain on low. Christmas still hits even when the funds don't flow. Yeah, when the funds don't flow. Yeah. We light up the block, though the pockets stay cold. No money in the bank, but the spirit won't fold. Laugh when we can't keep the pain on low. Christmas still hits even when the funds don't flow. Hey, 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 the funds don't flow. Hey, hey. Auntie regifted candles from a decade back. Dust on her, we pretend we didn't notice that. We all fake shock like it's something elite, but the scent screams clearance aisle 2013. And online deals, man, they scamming for sport. Holiday sale just means the tariff sort. I hit add to cart, then hit abort. My wallet's still empty like Trump Casino Resort, but the choir outside still sings in the cold. Voices cut through the dark like stories untold. Trees from a thrift shop, lights barely glow, but the vibe untaxed is something they can't
Well, he
control.
was an
We
auditor.
light up the block, though the pockets stay cold. No money in the bank, but the spirit won't fold. Laugh when we can't keep the pain on low. Christmas still hits even when the funds don't flow. When the funds don't flow. We light up the block, though the pockets stay cold. No money in the bank, but the spirit won't fold. Laugh when we can't keep the pain on low. Christmas still hits even when the funds don't flow. When the funds don't flow. Cold world, warm hearts. That's the holiday magic. Magic.
Around like flinging her boobs around, throwing breast milk everywhere and saying, ooh, come get some. That's a whole nother topic and ball game.